Welcome to the top of the world, where we're doing our very first Ike Gantlet
Max.
And why are we calling it Max?
Because we're not using pickup trucks, we're using regular vehicles to go up Ike Gantlet and under maximum load.
That's right, and we've got the maximum amount of team here too, because Emmy's here. Emmy, what are you doing with that?
I'm measuring Nathan's hotness with my infrared laser thermometer. Dude, you're only at 70.
70?
Sorry.
Oh no!
Oh, come on, you're put in there.
78!
78! I'm smoking hot.
She is 8 points hotter than you are.
Well, yeah, most people would agree with that.
Oh, you're only at 72.
And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane
Car.
Truck.
Car. The TFL test boat weighs 5,740 pounds, and the maximum payload of this Grand Cherokee is 1,100 pounds. Now the tongue weight here is about 570 pounds. You put me, Nathan, and Emmy inside, and we are actually exceeding the payload by 40 pounds on this Ike Gantlet Max.
One of the most remarkable parts about having a diesel engine in a vehicle this heavy is your economy. 24 miles per gallon combined, normal driving. We've been getting about 11.3 mpg towing uphill with the boat. Now, granted, that's not the Ike Gantlet. That is uphill, slow slogging. But it's nothing compared to what we're going to be doing to this thing when we hit the Gantlet.
Steep grade, next 7 miles, Nathan.
Yep, there we go.
We are at the top of the world.
There's so much more snow on this side. It's crazy.
And you know what? Towing is really all about going downhill, because any guy can go uphill, and stopping going downhill that's crucial. And there's something important that we have to talk about going downhill now, and that is that we are not maxed out on the tow load, which is 7,200, and the boat is only 5,740, but our payload, which is a tongue weight of the boat, is maxed out. And so even though we do have more towing capacity, we are maxed out on payload, so we're effectively maxed out on Ike Gantlet Max.
Yeah, and then overall that affects the performance of the vehicle, and it's definitely making it sluggish.
So the Grand Cherokee that we have today is the Overland. Now that's not the top of the line, but it's pretty darn close. Now I know that recently Jeep redesigned their front end, and some Jeep purists have a real hard time with it, but frankly I kind of like it. We've got some LED headlamps here, and there is so much chrome. I got chrome around the 7-slotted grille, I got chrome tow hooks, I got chrome wheels, I got chrome trim, I got a chrome mirror right here. I mean, this is chromed out.
There is something you should know, for those of you who haven't seen one of these before. We don't have standard trailer brakes. What we have are mechanical brakes on the trailer. And that works, it's very simple. The tongue itself on the trailer is the actuator that actually creates grab on the brakes on the trailer. That's simple. So when you slow down and the tongue pushes into the car, or in this case, SUV crossover, it actually is pushing on the brakes. So it's just that simple.
But as we said earlier, we are maxed out on payload, and honestly, being maxed out on payload with just 3 humans in this car plus the weight of the tongue, I mean, if we were going somewhere, we don't have any gear in here. I'm missing 2 people. I mean, that's not a good thing. I mean, when I go camping or when I go out on a road trip, I have a ton of gear with me, and this doesn't really allow me to take all of that stuff plus my toy.
Yeah, but we do have a giant sunroof.
We do have a giant sunroof, and it's so nice to be back here, and I can still see all of the mountains and the trees, and that's pretty cool.
How does it feel, Nathan, going downhill?
It was a little squirrely when I was hitting the brakes.
I can really feel this boat trying to push us along behind us. It's a little squirrely.
Yeah, it is a little squirrely.
Yeah.
The reason why it's more noticeable in this than, say, a pickup truck is because the pickup truck with a frame is able to take a lot of that load. You know, a long time ago, I used to own an 80s Jeep. Things have changed so much. This is one of the nicest interiors on any vehicle that I've seen, even in the $50,000 range.
There's a little bit of that feeling of the tail wagging the dog in this case, where in a pickup truck you wouldn't have that, right? You'd have a much beefier platform to tow from. So.
Yeah, even when we had the small Nissan Frontier, which is one of the smallest trucks we put this trailer on, it didn't feel as pushy. This is a unibody platform. You're feeling everything push all the way through. So it's definitely its maximum tow. I would rather tow about 1,000 pounds less.
Yeah, I would feel much more comfortable doing that. And I'm glad that you guys are doing the driving today and I'm just sitting back here relaxing.
Yeah, enjoy it while you can.
Oh, 298.
298. That's okay, actually.
Сзади 218.
218, okay. It's still high.
179. 179 на трейлере.
179, so that's a little bit high. So altogether, a little bit on the high side. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, not bad. I can't believe that there's a higher version of this Jeep. The woods and the chrome, the leather, it all goes together beautifully. The seats are incredibly comfortable and feel like they can be adjusted more ways than they normally can because, well, frankly, you have lumbar support and all that other crap that everybody else has, but you also have the leather that just squishes around you. So it's flexible, not like hard, cheap leather. The dash is covered in leather. There's exposed stitching that looks fantastic. The overall feel of the interior is a vehicle that I would say comes from Germany.
Here we go, guys. We're about to start the Gantlet Max.
To the max. Okay, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, start.
All right, I got it floored. It feels good, Nathan. It feels like it's got enough gumption. The diesel torque is really what you want when you're towing. Of course, we're in a flat part right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But right here, we're still pretty flat and neutral.
And once you get the momentum going, it's good. Once we lose momentum, we're in deep doo-doo. Trust me. It's like it falls off a cliff. It has a really hard time regaining the power. You have torque off the line, but it doesn't come very well at 50 miles per hour, you know what I'm saying?
You know, one of the cool things about this vehicle is it has the air suspension. So even though we've got a lot of payload back there, it evened it up nicely.
It doesn't. The back end is not pushing down like I've seen a lot of other vehicles. When they get too much tongue weight, the whole back end just goes. So
Yeah.
That's not true on this at all, which is pretty nice.
It's riding pretty nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it floored, guys, and we're doing 65 miles an hour. That's floored.
Wow.
But it's flat here.
Yep. So this momentum, if it carries us up the hill.
66. It's slowly inching its way up. 67.
Yeah, and we gotta go lower in order to maintain the 60 that we do on other
Well, let's see. We're definitely not at the steepest part by far.
No, we're back to 66 now. It just dropped. So now we're back up to 67. But here comes the steep part.
Yeah.
It's going to get steeper very quick now. It's kind of fun to have your foot all the way on the floor. It's kind of you never get to do that, right? Whoa, it's slowing down, guys. This is probably the engine and the Grand Cherokee that you want when you're towing. It's got the EcoDiesel 3-liter, which puts out 240 horsepower, not a big deal, but 420 pound-foot of torque. And best of all, it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which means great fuel economy. And let's see if it's actually hotter than Emmy. Yes, indeed, look at that. 202 degrees. The engine is hotter than our co-presenter.
Yeah.
And I've got the oil temperature
At what?
displayed. 249. Oh, we're slowing
251.
down. 62.
Oh my gosh.
61.
Oh, this is bad news bears.
All right,
Yep.
guys, let's guess. What number do you think it'll stop at before it actually?
55.
I'm gonna say 53.
I'm gonna say 50 miles an hour. I think we'll be lucky to maintain 50 miles an
You
hour.
think so?
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're already at 57.
Nathan, your number's coming up pretty quick.
And you're really still floored?
Oh yeah, all the
God,
way
I find
down.
that.
I'm all the way down.
And there is no tow haul mode, and we do not manually change gears on the vehicles we take up the hill. What we do is we leave them in the regular mode so you guys can see what we'll do from a regular driver's perspective.
So we're letting the car make the decision, not us.
They go.
The computer is making the decision, not us. And that's really hard for me to do.
Hey Nathan, what's the maximum torque at 1 RPM?
Let's see, that would be 420 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM.
And what's our RPM right now?
2,600. Oh, we're at 54. We just went down.
Oh,
Oh, okay, wait, no, it's almost me, it's almost me. But wait, now we've got a nice RV in front of us that we're gonna have to try to pass.
He's a little pokey.
He's super pokey.
Yeah, we're gonna be there
You're gonna
pretty
go on
soon.
the fast lane?
I'm gonna go
Really?
on the fast lane at 53 miles an
Oh
hour.
my lord.
Well, don't stay here
anyone
long, because
behind
that's...
it?
No one's behind us except our chase truck.
Okay, 52.
Whoa, 52.
Oh, 51. Come on, girl.
We're gonna be at my number, guys. We're gonna go below my lowest number, which is
Oh,
lower
no,
than
it dropped gear. It dropped the gear.
Oh, it
Yes.
did.
Finally. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's extremely electrified in terms of, it makes all the choices for you, you know, in terms of everything you're doing. So it waited until we dropped to 50 miles per hour before it dropped down a gear.
But look at that oil temperature going up, man. 260 now. It's climbing.
Yeah. So the base price here is $46,195 smackaroos, but we do have some optional equipment here on my Monroney. I've got the Advanced Technology Group. Now that gives me adaptive cruise control with stop, forward collision warning with crash mitigation, brake assist, and blind spot detection. Also optional on this car is the EcoDiesel engine. Now that's going to set you back another $4,500. So with those two options, grand total on this is $53,685.
Now keep in mind that the Ike Gantlet is from Silverthorne, Colorado to the top of the Eisenhower Tunnel. It's about, give or take, 9,000 to 12,000 feet and about 8 miles. And this Jeep will be the first Ike Gantlet Max, which is basically anything that's not a pickup, to set the bar. So we're going to know what that number is with Emmy's stopwatch, and it's speeding up a little bit, so 53 now.
Yeah, and we're at just over 4 minutes. And I have to tell you, I can see that gauge from where I'm sitting,
Yeah.
and it worries me. I can see it inching closer and closer and closer to hot, and that makes me real nervous.
Actually, what it was up to 270, now it's down to 264. I think what's happened is we've leveled off a little bit, and it's just enjoying a little
Oh,
gulp of
no,
cold
it just
air.
went up again. Oh,
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't like that. So there's plenty of room in the back seat. This front seat is set for Andre's driving position, which is almost all the way back. I still have plenty of room for my knees. I got plenty of headroom, even with the sunroof. Holla! Also, these seats back here are heated, and there are 2 USB ports in case you need to charge your iPhone or your iPad or your whatever. So all in all, I think that you'd have more than enough room for 3 of us in the back of the seat. Easy peasy.
Speed limit is 60. We are doing 50. In case
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
wondering.
I don't like that at all.
Foot's all the way down.
Maybe if I
that's
turn
what
on my seat heaters, it'll.
You got seat heaters
take
back
I
there?
do, except
They're what?
they don't go to the middle
That's
seat.
right.
Oh man! The middle seat always gets the worst ride. The Volkswagen, the Touareg is
That's
kind
right.
of in this same idea. The Germans, the Audi Q7 or Q8.
Q7.
Q7,
No,
sorry.
the Q8.
I don't know my Audis, obviously.
That would be Quake. They don't have Quake. And also the Mercedes GL
And ML.
ML.
and ML.
ML, yeah. Yeah, all the Germans have competing vehicles. Probably the one that you mentioned is the most competitive, and that's the Touareg diesel.
Touareg.
Yeah, so, hey, Volkswagen!
We need to compete. Come on, give us a
Send
tow
us one. We
package.
got to see how she does against this.
By the way, we're at the highest temperature now, 273, and the lowest speed, 49 mph. It's going to be a clean run, Nathan. Unless something
Yeah.
comes flying by me on the left side, this will be a completely clean run.
You're
Where I-
tempting fate.
All right, never mind. I
Yeah,
won't
don't
say
say-
Oh, we are really slow now.
Oh,
We're
wow.
44, You see those
We're
green
almost at the top.
I do
stoplights?
see those green
Those-
stoplights. Now we're
that's
gonna
our
stop
stopping
it.
point.
All right.
Stop it, yeah.
This is,
And we're about to lose the lane. So,
Okay, you're right. I'm not going to be able to maintain it, but you know what? We're almost at the top right now, so it's not like we lost a heck of a lot of time right now.
well, but let's face it, this thing is definitely going to be one of the slower ones.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the slow ones. You know what? I've got a floor right now.
Okay,
and I'm not-
ready?
Now.
And, yeah.
8:53.4.
All right, there we have it.
See, to compensate, Roman was driving like an idiot at the lower spots, so we were going a little bit faster. And regardless, hitting 50 miles per hour, basically, which I think was our average on the hill, that's just too slow.
Well, we just popped out of the Johnson Tunnel. That joke never gets old. Sorry.
Yucca, yucca, yucca.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so, you know, this car, Jeep, did really well. I think around town, towing normally, it's fine. You know, it's luxurious, it's comfortable. It's just when you put it into extreme conditions like this that you find out that it's working really hard. Would you agree?
Yeah, overloaded at high altitude and being pushed really, really hard. It was pushed beyond what I think its capability is.
Yeah, this is definitely an around the town kind of tow machine. Even if that's what, I'm not even sure that that's what Jeep is expecting their customers to do with this car. I will say, because I don't think we've touched on this at all, is the Uconnect system in here. I think it's one of the best systems that you can find in cars today as far as infotainment goes. It looks a little crowded, but it's really easy to use. It's very intuitive. The touchscreen works really well. I mean, I'm a big fan of this, and I think it's a big selling point for this car.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think if you're, you know, we should just say around time. It's good for cross-country towing too. It's just when you get into the mountains and, and you load
Super
it up
high
to its
altitude.
maximum, it's going to struggle a little bit as compared to a pickup. But at 15.3, which is what we were at, MPG, that's incredible.
15 miles per gallon going up the hill. You know, we've averaged like 6
In the pickups, yeah.
pickups.
I know.
So the diesel at least was finding a way to dole out that power in such a way that we got really good mileage.
Hot, hotter, hottest.
Not exactly. This is the hottest.
Yeah, that baby was really working up there. It was a little worrisome. You know, you watch that gauge and like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah, we now have a height to measure all other vehicles that compete in this realm.
Yeah, we set the bar with Gantlet Max, and you can bet that we'll be doing more of these vehicles up the Gantlet. As always, this is
Emmy.
And Nathan.
and Roman saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for more news, views.
And reviews.
Ciao. Hey guys, guess what?
Chicken butt.
No, not chicken butt. Wait, chicken dinner. No. I am going to the Czech Republic, Prague next week to pick up the Tatra 603 because we are going to be driving that. Where, Nathan?
We're gonna. Sorry, no, that's what happens later. We're gonna drive it from the Czech Republic through Germany and get it onto a roll-on, roll-off ship so we can send it across the ocean.
And then it's going to go where?
It's going to go across the country. We'll be driving it across the country, possibly stopping in your town. You never know. So make sure you follow us on social media for that schedule. And we're going to drive it across the country to Pebble Beach, where there is a Tatra class this year.
That's right. And when you see the images of us driving, we're going to be doing a lot of this old school Dukes of Hazzard driving, because it's going to be smoking and smoldering on a flatbed trailer as we drag it across the country from, I think, Washington, D.C. to Pebble Beach.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of miles.
Smoldering.
This is going to be, as someone who's driven across the country numerous times and done it pretty quickly, I'm going to say this is going to take a really long time.
You know there's no air conditioning.
Oh my Lord, in August, we're going to drive across.
It's going to be so awesome.
I'm going to get one of those, like, one of those water pump things that mist you so that you can mist yourself.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. The doors will rush shut.
So we're going to have a bunch of videos starting next week from my trip to Prague and buying the car, so you'll get to see it, you'll get to meet it. And then we're also hoping that some of you will go to tflcar.com and click on the Prague to Pebble Beach link, where we're doing kind of a crowdsourcing, trying to raise money to fund this trip. So far we've raised about, just over $1,000.
That's a pretty good
That's about
start.
enough to tow it 4 or 5 times.
AAA calls. And hey, guys, on top of that, if you do go onto that link, who knows, you might be able to show up in one of the videos that we have on the tow truck.
That's true. That is one
You
of
can
the
drive it.
one of the prizes for helping us out on
The
this.
truck and the flatbed. No, you can really drive it. Or we'll put a sticker with your name on it. So go to tflcar.com, click on the very first link, which is Prague to Pebble Beach, and throw us some money so that we can suffer this summer. As always,
Nathan.
Hey, it's Emmy.
and Roman saying, go to TFL Car and click on Prague to Pebble. Thanks.